IT band pain. IT band pain at the knee, and one that's kind of resistant, sticky, and it doesn't really help with stretching. And so this might be a residual pain after you've maybe lightened the load, doing short stuff and doing strength training. So there's a thing that happens with the IT band. So the IT band is, up here, and it goes all the way down to here. It's pretty thin. It's meant to stabilize. And the pain that we're talking about is right around in this area, okay? And it's very kind of sharp, intense pain. The reason why we have this area right here is you have two condyles right here. They're attachment points for things that are here and things here. And then you have this area right here that there's lateral ligaments right here. And they're meant to stabilize, keep the things, the knee structurally sound here. So once they get tight and sticky, a little bit upset due to IT band gets tight, maybe the back is tight or the hip is hiked up and they get pulled on a little bit and then they get inflamed. And so this area right here gets a little sticky and chunky. You could go to the chiropractor and he would work on that area specifically, bending the knee, doing this type of stuff, and then stretching that way. I want to give you a couple of things to do to try to address that area at home. And some of them aren't pleasant. So the first thing that we can do is we can take some washcloths, and these are surgery towels. And this is the kind of length that we want. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create kind of a roll with it, try to keep it fairly tight. I'm gonna roll it up, and you could do one or two. In the yoga world, we'd use a dowel rod, like a 1-inch dowel rod. How fun is that? So what we're talking about is getting this kind of wedged up in here and then bending the knee and then sitting down on it. And when you do that, you'll notice that it's pushing up on the hamstring. It's really pushing on the calf right now. So you can see that what it'll do is it'll create a little bit of force space right there in that area. And you can lean into it a little bit, sit down on it. If you needed it wider, bigger, or harder, use a dowel rod or use maybe a pen or something thick in there and then wrap the towel around it. But it's a nice way to get a little bit of space in here. The other things that you can do to address that area, along with that IT band stretch that I get you, is to do this kind of standing number 4 stretch. So, use something. You could do this when you're running and make sure that your knee is flexed and then sit down into it. And I'm leaning into that knee and pushing down a little bit. And the higher you get up here, sometimes the better. And pushing down and leaning into that knee. And what it can do is stretch that whole line right there. The last thing to do is kind of the same thing. Let's see if I can show you this. Using a strap, or I borrowed one of Derek's belts. And so again, remember that IT band stretch where you bring this foot out to the side. So straight forward, and then I take it over to the side, and I go like that. I'm using the strap. And what I'm doing now is I'm pushing, oh my gosh, on the outside of my foot. So my foot is curved in a bit. And I'm twisting a little bit that way to make this longer. And I'm pulling this foot that way. And that stretches all the way up through here in this whole area, okay? You can do that same thing laying down. So where you're here, and then what you do is I'm turning my turning my foot to where my toe and my foot are kind of coming across my body towards my other ear. And it's kind of twisted a little bit this way. Nice. How are you? So I'm pushing into that strap, and I'm pulling the strap towards my opposite ear. Oh my gosh. Okay? And my leg is kind of coming across. Hi. Kind of coming across my body. Oh. Our foster Chevy. Say hi, peoples. Anyway, IT band pain, that kind of sticky. It's sticky right here. It just gets kind of chunky right there, and it's hard to work through because that area is not designed to be stretched, but it does get a little tight and sticky due to kind of a culmination of the IT band getting tight, and you keep running. Anyway, give it a try. Let me know what you think. What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you sitting on me? Namaste.